What's up, everyone? For the past 24 hours in the Big Brother Canada house, fights, tantrums and turmoil would be an understatement. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright, now right before we get started, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button and the bell icon to get notified every single time a brand new upload goes live on the channel. Okay folks, let's jump right into it, and boy have we got a lot to talk about. It has been a wild ride so far. I didn't do a live feed update yesterday, so we'll try and throw it all in today. So yeah, Kyle became the new head of household, so as I said, a huge congratulations to Kyle. And I don't even know where to start with this one. It has been a huge case of what we in the Big Brother community know as HOH-itis, also known as a dictatorship, also known something similar to Frenchie's HOH reign from Big Brother 23. There has been a million targets left, right and centre, and changes from people talking to Kyle and say, it's almost like people go talk to Kyle and Kyle has an idea in his head, and then the latest person he's spoken to switches his mind up, and then he believes that person, and then he believes the next person, and then it's like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden he's targeting the person he spoke to 2 times ago, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So it kind of started out as if, you know, Betty is going to become one of the nominees. We discussed it in the other day, in the other video, that she is going to become the person who continually gets put up, because that is usually the case with the Big Brother season. Someone becomes it's the weird phrase, but it's the porn star of the season, and it seemed Betty was going to become that. And it was potentially going to be Jess that went up alongside Betty, and then there was all sorts of backwards and forwards. Then all of a sudden, Steph's name started to pop up. Moose threw Steph under the bus and said Steph was saying all sorts of crap about Kyle, and then all of a sudden Steph became the target. Okay, it gets worse. So anyway, we come round to the morning, and Steph is basically blowing up. She comes into the HOH room, and Kyle basically tells her, Steph, I have had people come to me, and I am starting to feel like I can no longer trust you. And then all of a sudden, hell breaks loose. Steph's yelling and shouting, going, what the hell? You know, screaming, understandably, because she's been totally blindsided. And then she tries to get the names out of Kyle, and Kyle basically goes, I'm not going to say all the names, but Moose is one of them. And Kyle basically throws Moose under the bus. And then Steph runs out the HOH room, goes down the stairs. Moose, you've been talking about me and everything like that. Drags Moose back up, and she's shouting and yelling and everything like that. And then Moose has to try and explain himself. And Moose brilliantly digs himself out of the hole, and he talks his way out and yada yada yada. Much so to the point where Kyle then later goes on saying, oh my god, Moose is a good talker. We need to target him now. Now the target has gone from Steph to Moose. And I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So all these outliers, all these, I guess you'd call them the outcasts, which I always root for anyway, you know, Jess, Kevin, Helena, you know, they're all basically getting set up to have a deep run into the game now, because Moose has created trouble for himself, Steph's ended up in this hole, and it's just, oh my god, it's crazy. I have been addicted to the feeds for the past 48 hours. It's just been absolutely amazing. Just amazing. Literally, that is the best way to say it. I've said it time and time again, folks. If you are people who come here to watch me for Big Brother US and you're just watching my Canadian videos without watching Big Brother Canada, watch it. I'm telling you, it's already better than Celebrity Big Brother 3. It's already better than Big Brother 23. Yes, they were both enjoyable to watch, but man, this is something else. This is something else. In the words of Spider-Man, I'm taken away by it. I just love the fact that people aren't afraid to go for people. In Big Brother USA, there's so much animosity that isn't put out there. It's all passive aggressive, and it's all very much like, yeah, I'm going to target that person, but I won't say it to their face, and I won't hash it out with them, and you know, we'll go with the easy vote this week. We'll get them out next week, and then all of a sudden it's the final 3, and then that person wins the game. That ain't happening in Big Brother Canada. People see who they want out, and they don't care that they're Mr. Popular in the house. They'll go, I want you out. I'm going to put you up on the block. It's so refreshing to see. It's so refreshing to see, because we basically just watch a repressed game of Big Brother in the US. And don't get me wrong, I love it. Love it with all my heart. You know, you all know I love Big Brother. But man, when I'm comparing them, you got to watch this one, folks. Okay, so now some nominee talk on who actually did get nominated after all this debacle that was going left, right and centre. And the nominees are officially Steph and Moose. Now, I did not have it on my Big Brother bingo card to have Steph and Moose on the block this week, with a Kyle HOH reign being that person, who being the culprit. I did not expect it at all, but I'm not complaining. Listen, right, I always say I try to separate game and personal. Y'all have heard me say a couple of times now, I've got a crush on Steph. That still stands true. However, on a game level, I'm flabbergasted at the fact that people are actually putting people who are quite popular in the house up, because that never happens. It's often Big Brother US is just like, watching school or college or something like that, where all the popular kids get to go really, really deep into the game and all the outcasts get thrown to the side and evicted first. And I don't like that. So, it's one of those things. And yeah, let's be honest, Steph is one of the popular people, and so is Moose for that matter. I'm thrilled to see that people are playing the game. I really am. On a personal level, I'm like, oh my god, I can't have my Big Brother crush go this fast. But on a game level, I'm excited to see how things play out, because the veto ceremony, it's only going to heat up from there on out. When that happens, I'm literally recording this as the feeds have gone down for the veto ceremony. So hopefully we'll know within the next few hours who it's going to be, and then we can ride out the next however many days until eviction night, and it's going to be really, really exciting. But of course, with Kyle's left, right, and centre shenanigans, things haven't gone smoothly for him. It seems like there's kind of a little bit of a revolt brewing against him, but that was very expected. When Kyle became a Frenchie and started saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I want to be a legend of the game, literally what he said, then it seemed like, I think there was a conversation where it was Summer, T, Tarnisha, and Hamon were thinking, this is crazy. Kyle, if he continues this way, he's got to go. He's got to effing go, I think was said. And it's just crazy. I love how people aren't afraid to go against the HOH as well. It's amazing. That never happens in Big Brother US. You just kiss the HOH's ring and then thank them as they send you out the door. Oh, God. Just grow a pair. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't even know. It's crazy stuff, but it's fun to watch. It really, really is. And I think Carl needs to watch his back moving forwards, but he seems to have solidified some kind of alliance. Even though things seem crazy, I think he might have maybe managed to salvage it. He's created an alliance of guys with himself, Marty, love Marty, legend, Gino, and Hamon, and they have called it, they were discussing the Four Horsemen. And of course, Big Brother US fans, you all know with me that that the Four Horsemen was an alliance before, and it was in Big Brother 5, and it was incredible. It was an incredibly successful alliance that eventually crowned Drew the winner of the game. And Marcy was good enough to point out that's been done already. So I think they've kind of called it the Four Horsemen 2.0, which I kind of like. I love a callback to old BB, old school BB. We never see that, so that's really, really awesome. Again, that's another level in which Canada is giving us the good Big Brother vibes, and I really do love that. If I am not coming across right now like I am passionate about the season, I don't know what will, because I don't even know. For those of you who keep asking me how do you watch it, I'm gonna refer, because I can't explain it very well myself, I'm gonna refer you to Jolene Lunza, the wonderful Jolene. My friend Jolene, she did a video on how to watch Big Brother Canada. So head over to Jolene Lunza's page if you want to see that. Alternatively, there's a website called Hamster Watch. Head over to Hamster Watch and that'll have all the info on there as well. Now, just before the feeds went down for the veto picks, it's by the way, if I said ceremony earlier, I meant the veto competition. But yeah, Josh had a conversation with Moose, and Moose basically said, if I get house guest choice and I pick you, will you fight for me? And he said yes. I don't even know what's going on there. Josh is basically putting himself on a lonely iceberg there. That's going to go and be set adrift if he saves Moose, because the house seems to be against Moose now. But again, it would shake up the game, so I'm not against it. There's so many different aspects of different things we can look at, and there'll be different wild outcomes, which I am not complaining about at all. And the other thing that Moose said was one to Jess, where he basically said to Jess, look, and I didn't like this. He said, if I pick you for house guest choice, I'm basically throwing you a life preserver. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is the guy on the block who's at the mercy of the house right now, telling somebody who's now in a good social position, I'm throwing you a life preserver. Get lost. Get a grip. Jess has managed to get themselves into a much better social position than they were last week, and I've got a ton of respect for that. Jess is working their way into be in a solid position within the social dynamics, and for Moose, who is at the mercy of the house right now, to basically act like he's got Jess in the palm of his hand like a tiny little bird that needs help, and he's nurturing it. I don't like that whatsoever. And do you know what? when people like that end up on the block, I'm not being funny. I know Big Brother. It can be sad when you get put on the block and everything like that. But I feel like Moose's ego might be a little bit big. I could be totally wrong, and I feel like it's sometimes nice. I think seeing people like that taken down a peg or two, because then they become much more humbled. But making or saying things like that doesn't come across as humble. I like humble people. I like people who are salt of the earth and they are down to the ground and they're just down to earth. Yeah, I like people who seem to be themselves, people who aren't up themselves, people who aren't obsessed with themselves and their heads in the cloud. And I'm not gonna go out there and make out as if I'm somebody who's the be all and end all of choosing who is a good person, who's a bad person, or anything, because I'm not like that at any stretch of the imagination. But I like to think I'm somebody who's got a very good judge of character, and I feel like I've been like that for a while. That's just my opinion on that one, but that's kind of the vibe I get from Moose. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Of course, the majority of the talk and a long talk was on the aggro and all the craziness from yesterday. It seemed like everything else kind of just got diluted into the background and not really worth talking about very much, or not so as important as the other things that we've discussed. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate every single last one of you for your kindness and support every single day. It means the absolute world to me. But folks, I'll say as I always do, make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive and staying healthy out there, and remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, do all of that good stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.